Sleepers wake, dreams will fade, although we cling fast. Was it real, what we saw? I believe. Lost in dreams, we sleep on, tossing and turning. Stay with me, by my side, never leave. But if the worst comes, if someday this sweet reverie ends, we two, our memories for real, famous. Dream with me by the sea, we watch the waves crash. Hold my hand, think of me, and I'll fly.
Hello YouTube, and welcome to another DBTGamer special. Today, I've got a special unboxing stroke art book video from, I'm gonna say, a while back. This is not my copy of the game, this is my sister's copy. This is Zelda Link's Awakening that was originally on the original Game Boy, the Game Boy Color. It was like a DX version with color graphics and an extra dungeon. And then it was brought to the Nintendo Switch. It was fully remastered and remade, and it had a rather cartoony sort of diorama art style. This was my first Zelda game. I remember playing this when I was very, very young. My brother had the original Game Boy version. He didn't really know how to get through the game, and neither did my sister or me at that age. Eventually, I ended up printing off a strategy guide from Game FAQs and just following that thing word for word and doing it that way. And that's how I discovered Legend of Zelda and fell in love with the series. This was my first Zelda game, and I still hold it very close to me to this very day. Anyway, let's have a look at this special edition. There's obviously the game on the right, and on the left there's a steel book which looks like a Game Boy. It's nice, and they've even put the cartridge in the back, which is also nice. So yeah, it looks like a proper Game Boy. They've even put some Game Boy screenshots on the inside of the case, which is very nice. I didn't buy this when this came out, and I'm sort of kicking myself because this is one of my favourite Zelda games, and these days it's really expensive and goes for a very pretty penny, and yeah, they're the mistakes we make. So, right. Anyway, let's look at... So, the new box. The art style at the time, when it first came out, was a little bit controversial. Some people didn't like the toy aesthetic. I myself, it's okay. I like it just fine. And that's the inside. I do like the anime-inspired inside of the box. I also really like the anime opening at the beginning of the game. Okay, now on to the main event, the art book. Now, if you've seen my other art book videos before, this is going to be me talking about the pictures and basically taking a walk down memory lane. So, yeah, get ready for me talking a lot and a lot of memories for my... Ooh, I'm going to say... How old was I? Well, I didn't even know the game came out, so... Cause I think we had the manual. I don't think the box survived. I don't even have the cartridges there. I remember selling it, which was another mistake, because those cartridges are really expensive these days. The other day I was walking around Wakefield and I saw an original Game Boy, and I think it's a DSi or a DS... Yeah, I think it was a DSi. And the original Game Boy actually was more pricey than the DSi. Yeah. Anyway, let's have a look for this art book before this video carries on too long. And here we've got the owl. It might be Gabora Gabora. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to go with Gabora Gabora. Yeah, here we go. This is the anime opening where you get to see Link. This feels very Japanese and Studio Ghibli styled. I remember around about when the Zelda movie was announced, somebody did like I think it was done with AI, or it might have had some sort of human hand in it. But there was like a Zelda anime movie done in a Studio Ghibli style movie trailer, and I thought it was. If it was AI, they obviously did a very good job. If it was people who did this, it was an even better job, because personally, I am of the opinion that humans create art, AI it copies things rather than creates. I would love to see Studio Ghibli somehow tackle either a Zelda short film or a Zelda movie or maybe a Zelda TV series. Princess Mononoke, that's all I've got to say. That shows they have the capabilities right there. Anyway, let's get started. So we've got the art from the inside the box here. This is Link when he gets shipwrecked. There's the island itself, Koholint. So this must be chapter 1. That's the violin. Yeah, so this is the new art style, and they went for a lot of different designs. Some of these have very pronounced noses, and but number 7 and 8 are very cool. Yeah, and here's the like original design. That was the Game Boy's manual and also the anime opening. This would have been I'm not saying turn Link's Awakening into like a 3D Zelda game like Ocarina of Time, but there's an interesting idea, Nintendo. But or maybe have like a button where you can go 2D and 3D mode. Yeah, and there's some swords and some shields. One of my pet peeves with this remake of this game, I don't like what they did to the seashell side quest, Windfishing, and more of the island and the rooster, and got some houses. The seashell quest in the original game, you only had to collect 20 seashells to upgrade your sword. In this version, they changed the rewards around, so you had to collect like 50 seashells to upgrade your sword, and by the time you got that many, the game is basically over. Getting 20 felt like a much more manageable and nice way of doing things. They also tied in the new dungeon creator mechanic into the seashell rewards, so all they had to do was just swap the rewards around. It really wasn't necessary to make it that difficult, just get the better sword. Although there is a way around it. If you do the colour dungeon and you get the red mail rather than the blue mail, you can just double your attack that way, but obviously you can't get the double defense. Anyway, let's look at some of these art. We've got Taran, who looks very much like Mario. Then we have Marin, who is definitely my favourite character in the game. She's like do I spoil like a 20-odd-year-old game here? She's the main woman of the game, and she teaches Link how to play certain songs on the ocarina, and you provide accompaniment. So yeah, and I've always liked Marin. She's kind of like a stand-in for Princess Zelda, because Princess Zelda's not really in this game, and I'm not saying she's a replacement, but you know, she fills a similar role. This is the telephone house, which is really good for hints. It's hints, not really a built-in strategy guide, just hints. This is the guy who answers the phone, I don't think you see him in the game. This might be his wife. She's in a side quest where you have to find her broom, and then she gives you something, and then you give it to the next person. It's a giant trading side quest, and you have to do it. It takes quite a long time. More houses, and this is Baby's house, where you have to do the Yoshido part of the trading quest. I believe this family has a lot of children, so yeah. This is a very nice art book. We've got the forest here, and I'm trying to remember what this character's called. It's a tanuki. If anyone's seen Pom Poko, you are very familiar with this raccoon. It's giant sack that he uses to transform with. Pom Poko. Good, but very weird film. We've got some of the enemies. I believe these are moblins. Standard pig enemies. There's also a mushroom, which I believe is an item later on in the game. You can trade it in and get some magic powder with the witch. Yeah, here it is. So yeah, that's that. There's also a bomb bag and a... So we're on to the first dungeon. This is the Tail Cave. Throughout the dungeon, there's also these owl statues, which will give you hints as well. This game had a lot of 2D side-scrolling sections, which I really liked. They've included the Game Boy bit. That's good. That's how you do it. Yeah, the 2D options, you could attack enemies and stuff like that in two-dimensional, which actually worked much better than Zelda 2, thankfully. And with a lot of enemies, I think one of my least favourite enemies was the three of a kind. These little beetles that you can change to have all the same symbol, and it was a pain in the ass. It's hardly ever required, thankfully, but when you do have to do it, it's annoying. It's a beetle. Where's the first boss? I want to talk about Moldorm. Moldorm's a pain in the arse and a dick. Okay, maybe I'll talk about it later, but there's this giant burger centipede thing. You have to hit it in the tail. It's called Moldorm, and it can knock you off the platform. You have to restart the whole boss fight. It's a pain in the arse, and I have many memories of being knocked down the hole and having to start the whole boss fight again. I've got this slimy thing with the item called Rock Server. That was the item for the dungeon. One of my favourite Zelda items ever because of the jumping mechanic. Okay, wait, it looks like we're on to the second dungeon, which is for the horn, I believe. There's also like a mini quest where you have to save this lady's dog. The lady's dog is called Bow Wow. It's a chain chomp. Yeah, one thing I love about this game is that it has references to other Nintendo games in it. A lot of them are Mario references, but there's other games in there. I'll try and point out as many as I can remember throughout the video. There's Chain Chomp, which you have to rescue, and it becomes an ally for a brief portion of the game. You can use it to attack enemies and that sort of thing. Yeah, you have to rescue it from a group of moblins. And there's like a mini boss fight with this big angry guy, the moblin chief. Relatively easy boss fight. And then you go into the swamp and you have to get the dog to eat the flowers. Bow Wow. There's these giant piranha fish things. Kind of dangerous early on. There's actually an ending for this game. If you manage to get the game without dying, there's like a secret ending. But personally, unless you're like very good or very careful, you're probably going to die in this game and miss out on this ending. Here is the second boss, the genie, which you have to use the power bracelet. You throw it at the wall and it destroys the bottle eventually. And then you can just stab it with your sword. Jumping's also very good on this boss. More 2D and the boss itself. Okay, now on to the bell, which is the third dungeon of the game. A bit of development to talk about this game. When the team originally started their development of this game, they wanted to turn Link to the Past, which was a Super Nintendo game, into a Game Boy game. Ambitious idea, guys, but I'm glad with the direction that they went. They made it a brand new game with, okay, that took inspiration from Link to the Past, but I'm glad they didn't just port Link to the Past outright because this was a better idea. I believe that's a shop. Yeah, this is the shop in the game where you buy all the items and it's extremely expensive. There is the trick where you can steal stuff, but it probably comes back to bite you in the arse later on. I've never done it, but yeah. Buying the bow and arrow takes forever, over 900 rupees. This is Prince Custard, I believe? Now, this is me being very obscure and being super nerdy. A few years back I made a video on a game called Frog from Who the Bell Tolls. It's a DBTGamer special. It's a Game Boy game. You can probably find it on YouTube on my channel somewhere in my archives. But yeah, the story goes, Frog from Who the Bell Tolls, that's the game engine that they used to make Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening actually work. So if it wasn't for Prince Custard and Frog from Who the Bell Tolls, this game would have never been popular really because, yeah, he's a rather important character because obscure Nintendo references and this game's development. Anyway, so we're on to the is there like a castle quest that you have to do where you collect 5 golden leaves? That's the catfish dungeon. You've got Stalfold Knight, which can be a pain in the ass. You got the hook shot, which is rather useful. It's kind of a good backup arrow. This is the slime eel. Shove the grapple in its mouth and then pull it out and then stab it in its belly. You got Goma, which you can defeat with the hook shot. I thought you had to use the arrows, but the arrows are probably the better way to go about it, but you can use hook shot. This is the castle I talked about earlier, where the 5 golden leaves, some frogs and some monkeys, which make you a bridge later on. That's Prince Custard, I believe. Yeah, this part of the game you have to really, really search. There's a lot of places you can easily miss when you're finding the golden leaves, but it's not too difficult. Yeah. But Knight, it's an early mini-boss, which can cause you a little bit of trouble. Then you got third dungeon with the angry thwomps and piranha plants, bombs, and this snake dodongo, which can be rather annoying because they don't always pick up your bombs. They're a little bit picky about where and when you place them. And you got Slime Eye, you charge into your boots, and that's really it. It's not really a difficult boss at all. You've got the harp. This game at the time caused some more controversy. It wasn't just the art style that caused controversy. price for a Game Boy remake, some people felt it was rather expensive. In the UK, I paid like £40. I think the special edition was like 60, I think. So yeah, personally, maybe they should have gone with £30 and 50 for the special edition, or maybe 40, 45 for the special edition. Because yeah, I mean, it's a nice remake. Do not get me wrong. Although it's definitely an easier remake than the original, because in the original you could only have Crazy Tracy, which she was a character. She talked to her. She gave you a bottle which instantly brought you back to life when your health hit 0, and that was your one way of coming back to life. Whereas in this game, you got 4 bottles plus Crazy Tracy, so you can imagine how much that screws with the difficulty level and makes everything so much easier. Although you could just limit yourself and just don't use the bottles. Here's the Dream Shrine, which is just like a little challenge in the game. I think it gives you a heart piece. Got the ocarina and the many ideas they have for the designs. Animal Village, which is very cute. It's a village where Marin sings to animals. Butterflies, some rabbits, and a hippo and a crocodile. More Game Boy art. The goat, who's doing like a... Yeah, she's doing her side quest. She sends a letter to the guy from the mayor from SimCity. It's like a relationship sort of thing, but it's a little bit weird because she doesn't want to show her face, so she's sending a picture of Princess Peach. It's rather strange. There was also some photos you could take in the Game Boy Color DX version. There were certain parts of the game where you could just have your photo taken and then you could print them off on the Game Boy printer. This is a chef guy. He's a part of the trading quest. I believe he gives you I think you give him the honeycomb and he gives you a pineapple. So yeah. Here's the artiste, who's an alligator. And he's sketching or sculpting the hippo. And that's his painting. Very unique. I love the animals in this game. That's the walrus, who you have to get out of the way. This is one of my favourite scenes of the game, where Link and Marin, or Malin, pronunciation's a little bit difficult for me sometimes. They're just talking on a log about their dreams and how to get off the island, and if there is a way. And this is where Link and Marin sort of go out on a little date. You know, they walk around the island together, and you can go to certain spots on the island whilst you've got her in your party. And if you do like little activities, you'll get to see extra bits of dialogue and extra cutscenes. I think the crane game acts differently with her, and yeah, but you can always see them at least one point in the game. It's a little bit there's some obscure trivia. Seagulls, got the desert, and this giant centipede again. This is not the same as Moldorm, but it's close enough as far as the way it looks. The Angler's Tunnel. The dungeons can be a little bit tricky because it's a water dungeon, but the boss fight is an absolute joke. Seriously, the Angler Tunnel boss is an absolute joke. It's probably the easiest boss in the whole game. It's very easy to go through that entire boss fight without getting hit. And also, there's like little baby fish that come out of it. They can just hit with your sword and get more health, so it's practically guaranteed that you will not lose that fight. It's so easy. They got the flippers. The actual mini boss fight with this Hydro dresser is actually more difficult than the boss in the dungeon, because you have to jump over it and get out of its way before it slams into you. Yeah. What else? Yeah, there's the angler itself. It looks scary, but it's a joke. It's one of the easiest bosses in Zelda ever. Okay, on to the 5th dungeon with Xylophone. This is Mambo, the fish that sings, and you get your music song for me. This is the ghost you have to take back to its grave. This also sort of leads you to the extra dungeon, which is the colour dungeon, which lets you change your tunic colour, so you can have either more defense, more attack power, or normal, I suppose. Here's all the trading quests. There's a minus the Yoshi doll for some strange reason. That's odd. There's a necklace, a house. Here's the mermaid who eventually gives you the magnifying glass, so you can get to a certain area. The idea is you starting with the Yoshi doll, you get all these items and you trade them around the island to all the different people eventually, and then once that's all done, you will get the magnifying glass, which lets you get to an area in the game which is required so you can progress. So yeah, looks like the mermaid got censored at one point, because normal, uncensored. So yeah, the catfish is this is definitely a more difficult water dungeon. I think that's Prince Custard again. Oh no, it's Prince Richard, not Prince Custard. Oh no, it's the Custard Kingdom, that's it. Oh god, my memory. You know, since I played that Game Boy game. Kiki the monkey. Castle again. Now onto the triangle. Onto the Facey Shrine. This is the shrine where you learn that the entire adventure is like a dream inside Link's head. This was the spoiler I was referring to earlier on. This is probably the most appropriate time to talk about, because this is when the game reveals it, so that's why I've held off a little bit. So yeah, I got the Armored Knight. The Facey Shrine, the item you get is a stronger power base, so you can lift bigger things, but nothing more complicated than that. Rover Jackie, this is... I think the mid-boss, you have to throw a giant ball to beat him. And the ball's the only thing that can hurt him. He's basically invincible to everything else. And here's Facey himself. This boss isn't really that difficult. Just drop bombs. Yeah. Got the piano. Here we go. Here's Wart. He's a boss from Mario 2. He also appeared in the Mario Galaxy movie, which was... It was nice to see him again. Yeah, and here's the rooster who helps you fly. Oh, across some gaps later in the dungeon. So, yeah. He's a nice, brief companion. The hen housekeeper. That kind of looks like Luigi. Or Ingo from Ocarina of Time. Ooh, the Eagle's Tower. This is probably one of the harder dungeons in the game. The boss is definitely a pain, unless you know the trick, which I did not know when I was younger, and I didn't know till recently. So, yeah, here's the, this little skull guy. He's a pain in the arse. I'll explain why later. The eye beams and the mirror shield. So yeah, the evil eagle. So yeah, you have to either jump and hit this thing with your sword, which you can do. It's just a little bit tricky. You can shoot arrows at it, or if you're very clever, which I did not, you can do this. You can press A and B together, and you can launch an arrow and a bomb at the same time. You can do like a bomb arrow. This game doesn't have weapon combinations, and you can use them to your advantage to beat bosses more quickly. Seriously, the bomb arrows absolutely waste this thing. Yeah, this little skull guy pops up throughout the dungeon and he attacks you with birds. So, yeah, he's an antagonist. This is one of those bosses, if you fall off the tower, you have to start the whole fight again, and it gets all its health back. So, yeah. Yay, more of that. Anyway, final dungeon, the Thunder Drum. Getting through the borders is a pain in the ass. This is a real test of your all your skills. This is the Turtle Rock, which kind of looks like an onyx or a crocodile. It looks more like an onyx in the Game Boy version and the Game Boy Color version. This one they've gone for more of a crocodile motif. So yeah, I was very into Pokemon at the time. I think I actually beat Pokemon before I beat this game. Yeah, so Turtle Rock, the final dungeon of the game. You got Via, which... Is that a Ghosts and Goblins reference? I don't know. They haven't showed off the anti-Kirby. There's an enemy called the anti-Kirby, which basically looks like Kirby and he tries to suck you in. And there's also Goombas and other things. It might be towards the back of the book. Here's the boss. It's a giant flame. You use like a magic wand to just keep damaging it. There's also this weird penguin bird thing with boxing gloves, which is quite formidable. Yeah. There's also the owl again. And that's the windfish egg. And there's all the instruments. The music in this game is fantastic, no matter which version you play. The Game Boy version, which chip music is impressive for the time. And they actually got like a small-scale orchestra to do the remake, which was also good. There's actually words to go along with the Ballad of the Windfish. I can't remember them all, but it's quite a beautiful piece of music if you can find the words to it. Maybe I'll try and find it and put it later in the video if I can find it. Going double page nonsense. So yeah, the Windfish dungeon, it has like a secret path. There's a library in the game. You knock down a book, and then you can read that. It tells you the path, and the path's different every time. So yeah, there's Link and Marianne. They are a really cute couple. The heart container. These are going to be all the characters and items. This guy, he's part of a trading quest in the alligator or crocodile. This guy, he's for the boomerang. I don't remember how to get the boomerang in this game. I think there's a point of the game where you can trade your shovel for a boomerang, but the shovel is also quite useful because you can get more money that way and more hearts. Yeah, here we are. This is a Crazy Tracy, person who can refill your health and also be like a healer. And he is the seashell quest. I do like number 2 where they actually made it into a shell shape. The other ones, And number 4 and 5. And number 6. Seriously, they went with one or 3, which is the most generic design they could have picked, and they could have gone with these ones. But I guess the other ones are more simple and easy to figure out. Got the Goo Spectre. This is the colour dungeon. You got these little tail things. You have to flip over, change their colour, and put them in the right hole. Rock monsters. The raft shop, which is just, it's not essential, but it helps you get money. There's the defense icon, which gets you more defense. And there's the fragment of power, which gives you double attack. Both these items only work for a short amount of time. Wait, there's fishing hooks? I don't remember them at all. I remember there being a fishing minigame, but I only collected a bottle and some hearts, and I caught some fish occasionally to help grind money, but that's it, really. Yeah, here's Dampe. This is the new thing they added to the game this time. Dungeon Creator. You mostly just pick rooms and rearrange them in order. It's a very basic dungeon creator. Nintendo has talked about doing a Zelda creator several times, but this is probably the furthest they've ever got with it. And I suppose Zelda Echoes of Wisdom has creator aspects because of the rod itself. Oh, this is fantastic. They've included the Game Boy map of the overworld in all its black and green glory. That is absolutely fantastic. Oh wow, that looks cool. I'm a sucker for Game Boy graphics. Don't care if they look out of date these days. There's still a certain charm to them. So yeah. And that is the last picture. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.